scheduled and not scheduled, the date and all of this. Look, Gervonta Davis, I'm being told, doesn't understand, does not know all of this information because it's kind of coming down from sources on high. But my understanding is that part of this with Gervonta is upwards of $300 million for him to buy the rest of his fights, let people see him wherever he wants to see him, wherever they want to see him. Because Gervonta, according to my guy, has convinced them he's a rare person and that he can sell out stadiums all over the United States. They can he drops bombs anywhere he goes. So they feel, hey, let's have Gervonta Davis go to Houston. That's a large black area. And by the way, these people that are trying to buy this, they're black. They're black. They're some of the wealthiest black people in all of the United States that have pulled their money together in different engagements. But they've been in a bit of a bidding war with the Saudis. Before that, they were in a bidding war with Dazn. But I do believe ultimately they've even made offers. I've been told that they've made offers to buy Dazn. So it's just going to be really, really interesting what's going on with boxing, man. But don't just take what people are saying about, behind the scenes, why this happens, why that happens. And no, this guy said this, that guy said that. We don't know when this is going to happen. When's that going to happen? Look, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in business that needs to take place for you to be able to announce a fight. And one of the things that make the PBC so attractive to these purchasers is that they operate their business model in a very respectable way. What they do is that they don't announce something until they know they can back it up. They don't do things like switching pay-per-views and charging people overnight for pay-per-views on DAZN.
And there is Fannon. It's been a while since I've counterpunched Fannon, so I think it's about time. And I think this is the perfect time to counterpunch Fannon, because Fannon claims, as you guys heard, that these group of people, better words to say, is trying to buy DAZN. They're offering Gervonta Tank Davis $3 million. They're trying to buy DAZN for $3 billion. And they're in a war with the Saudis. And, and I've been told these sources, and the good thing about the PBC, they don't announce anything until they have the money to back it up. Let me counterpunch. For one, you guys that follow this channel have heard me quote Christopher Walken's character on True Romance, okay? And he talks about the pantomime. And then what he says about the pantomime is this.
I learned the pantomime. There are 17 different things a guy can do when he lies to give himself away. Guy's got 17 pantomimes. Woman's got 20. Guy's got 17. But if you know them, like you know your own face, they'd be lie detectors all to hell. Now, what we got here is a little game of show and tell. You don't want to show me nothing, but you tell me everything.
So, okay, show and tell. So he's telling us everything, but he's not, he's telling us, but he's not showing us anything. I seen not one piece of evidence, not one paragraph, not one text message, not anything that he read from. This whole damn video was about him saying he heard something from a guy that probably heard from a guy that this is going to take place, and they're going to offer Tank Davis all this money for $300 million to sell out stadiums all over the U.S. Then they're going to buy DAZN. But then yet you can't tell us who that is. But then yet you can tell us that they're black. Listen. Pantomimes. Like when you start doing that and you have nothing to back it up, it raises a red flag. Am I calling Fannon a bald-faced liar? Yeah, I am. I'm calling him a liar. I'm calling him somebody that made something up, or whoever told him that was lying. So either he's lying or who told him that was lying. You know what I mean? But you have to wonder, why would anyone tell Fannon that of all people and no one else? Just Fannon. A guy that has been anti-DAZN, that's been anti-Matchroom, that's been anti-UK boxing pretty much. that's been pretty much pro boxing in America. As small as that's getting real small, and he's always had some type of agenda, and he's been a pro Al Heyman guy, which is nothing wrong with that. But the thing is there's one thing of being a pro Al Heyman guy versus just being a fanboy or a liar, and and then you gotta dog and diss everybody else because you are a fan of PBC boxing. That's a lot of things wrong with that. Okay. And you got to ask yourself, like, why would someone that's proposing something that big, even if you heard it, why can't you say who they are? But they're black, but you can't say who they are. And I can tell you why you can't do that. You can't do that shit, Fannon, because the minute you say, well, it's so-and-so and this group, because you said it's a group of people. Well, the minute someone reaches out to them, they're going to say, no, that's a lie. So the best way to tell a lie is to be able to not prove that it is or it isn't a lie. You have to find out if it's a lie. Well, can't prove me wrong. If you can't prove it, then you know what I mean? That's just something, again, you're showing, but you're telling, but you're not showing. You're saying all this stuff, but you're saying all this, but everything that you show versus what you say is non-existent. You're just talking. That's all he's doing. Now, if he would have been actually reading from something like, hey, we are going to buy this, blah, 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 blah. I can't tell you who it is right now, but at least he read it from that. Instead of him, man, I believe this is what the sources are telling me from Hollywood. And I'm like, dude, please. But I do understand, okay, if it's any silver lining to Fannon and the stuff that he says, the silver lining is it's easy to understand the motive, okay? You have to consider the motive. A guy like Fannon, he has an audience, and the audience is based around the resistance of people that still believe in American boxing. Now, the people that believe in American boxing aren't bad people. It's not that. It's just it's a small realm of people. And they have to have some type of agenda against other parts of the world that are also in the boxing community. You know what I mean? So it's like boxing is not unified. And channels like Fannon make sure they're not, because he's like that guy that says, well, I don't like Dazn because they did this. And they changed the pay-per-view or this and that and the other, which was shitty. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't. But what I am saying is you don't see nothing wrong with paying for a damn Gervonta Tank Davis fight for $80. You know what I mean? You see nothing wrong with paying all these pay-per-views on PBC and they're charging you that amount of money to watch them, okay, for $80, damn near $100. You see there's nothing wrong with it, but you're going to piss and moan over Dazn? Those are the type of things I'm talking about. So it's like, if you can't find nothing wrong with the people that you're praising, that's a problem. That means you're a fan or you're bought, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's all that really means. But no, that's an audience thing, because he knows he has enough people that watch his content, that believe in his content. So he's going to keep making content like that to make Gervonta Tank Davis look like he's bigger than he is. For the record, if this is true, that would be good for boxing. It would be good for American boxing, based on the fact that Canelo did it, and he's a Mexican fighter, but he's on this side of the hemisphere. He's a part of the Americas. And then you have another fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis, doing that's actually in America, in the United States, okay? And he does that. Yeah, that would look very big and massive. It would be a power move from Al Heyman, Gervonta Tank Davis, and who all is involved. You know what I mean? But it doesn't sound convincing to me from Fannon. That's why it may be a lie. You know what I mean? And again, I hope it is the truth. Simply based off the fact that, Why shouldn't Gervonta Tank Davis get that money? Well, I mean, for one, I don't think he's fighting enough people. If he did go to 147 and fought guys like Jared Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz and, you know what I mean, Ryan Garcia at a much bigger weight and Devin Haney at a much bigger weight and actually challenged himself with all that explosive power and all that fucking talent and all that stuff that he possesses. If he was doing all that, that would probably be a reason for those people to give him that amount of money. But he's not, and he's not showing people, and he's not telling people, and he's not claiming to fight the best because he's content with what he already has because he's been trained from the best Floyd Mayweather. I'm sorry, Floyd Money Mayweather. That's why. That's why I don't believe it, because who would pay for Gervonta Tank Davis that amount of money, $300 million, to see him fight who? When he's already telling people that I don't like going to 140. And I ain't thinking about going to 147. You see what I mean? But yeah, he'll talk shit on Twitter, but I mean, that doesn't sell fights if there's no fight to be sold. Okay? So that's that on Fannon. You guys tell me what you think of Fannon claiming that a huge consortium of people are trying to buy Dazn and offering Gervonta Tank Davis $300 million to fight on their newfound platform that we don't know who that is or, how many people involved in that. But of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!